Here we go. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Get myself centered here. If I'm centered on one, I'm not centered on the other. There's literally no rhyme or reason to any of this. I give up. It's like math or directions. So hope everyone is doing well. Let's see. We've got Melissa, Angela. I don't want to touch the screen because then things pop up. Brittany, Susanna, Elena, Kara. Good to see you guys. Bunch of people here on TikTok. So we are going to give this a second for a few people to tune in, and then I will get started, but you guys can go ahead and start posting your questions now. All right, so this is my bi-weekly Ask Ivy show I do on Wednesdays where I take your personal questions, and I do want you guys to include names of anyone that you're referring to, living or deceased. Those are the questions that are going to get chosen. Try to keep my curls under control. Fighting me again, like always. I don't know how the weather is where you guys are, but I am in New York. I'm in Dunkirk, New York. It's like cows and beaches. And it's been absolutely freezing here. I mean, it's upstate New York, you know. And then we had 80 degrees the other day. It's like mind-blowing. And today it was supposed to snow again. So we're just kind of all over the map. And I'm just waiting for that breakthrough where it stops going back and forth, back and forth. Let's see. I want to make a couple quick announcements while we let people tune in. Again, if you guys are tuning in a little bit late here, start posting your questions. This is my weekly Ask Ivy show. So I am taking your personal questions, psychic, mediumistic, empathic, lost objects, spiritual development, anything goes, but do include names of those that you're referring to. So if you're asking about a lover, first name. If you're debating between two different people, first names. Any jobs that you're debating on, and loved ones that you want to hear from the other side. Okay, I am a medium, so I'll be channeling your loved ones. If you guys wanted to see me at a public event, I know it's been a while with COVID. I am going to be at Margin Manor Winery for my Victorian Tea, the gallery show with private reads after this upcoming Sunday in Appleton, New York. I think she only has a few tickets left, so you're going to want to go onto marginmanor.com to get your tickets for that. And I know we have a million other things going on, but I can't remember at the moment. I am far too tired to care. So go onto the website, Ivy Rivera, psychicmedium.com. That'll link you over to Ivy League, psychicacademy.com if you want to check out classes and things like that. All right, so my beautiful producer, Mairead, is here helping out tonight. She'll be taking your questions and popping them up on the screen as they come in. I see donations already coming in. Greatly appreciate those. So, yeah, donations are appreciated. If everybody could right now give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Now, if you want to become a member here on YouTube, you're actually going to hit the join button. That'll show you the 3 different tier membership options, and you get things like your monthly horoscope, direct spirit messages, weekly psychic tips, all kinds of fun things. So check that out as well. Hopefully the cats behave and they don't knock over the cameras on me again. But I can't make any promises. All right, so welcome everyone. I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium, a Taino Airwalk, and I own a school called Ivy League Psychic Academy where I train people internationally, online, and we are slowly getting back to in-person in everything, ranging from psychic mediumship development to tarot, Reiki, astrology, numerology, you name it, we do it. We train children as well as adults. So check out classes there. I've also been putting out 1 to 2 free mini classes per week since the pandemic hit, called the Quarantine Series. And at this point, we have quite an accumulation. So if you go onto my YouTube channel here at Ask Ivy, up in the playlist under mini classes, you can see all of the free classes I've been putting out. So you can enjoy those as well. Okay, what you caught here tonight is my bi-weekly Wednesday show called Ask Ivy, where I take your personal questions. So if you haven't already done so, go ahead and post them. Anything goes here, anything interesting, curious, spiritual, paranormal, psychic, mediumistic, empathic. I will channel your loved ones from the other side, but I need you to include names of anyone that you're referring to. It speeds up the process. I try to get to as many of these as we can. And answer them in 3 minutes or less. Okay, so that speeds up what we could do here. Donations are greatly appreciated. If you guys need to book a reading with me, if you want an intuitive ability assessment, or if you just have like one important question you need to ask, you don't need a full reading, you can submit those as intuitive ability assessments or email questions on my website. And that is in the description above or below, depending on where you're tuning in from. All right, so we will go ahead and get started. Mairead, if you want to start popping them up, I will take them. All right, the first one we have is from Masubi. Hi, Ivy. Should I tell my children about the psychic mediumship course? I haven't told them because I don't want their negativity. What do you think? I think you are going to learn through the psychic mediumship course to not care about what other people think. That's at the base of everything that I stand for. Everything that I'm going to be teaching you is that mediumship is a perfect metaphor for life. And one of the only ways to get good at mediumship is to let go of your ego. Your ego is about fear, manipulation, control, having agendas, wanting people or situations to be something other than what they actually are. Mediumship is about acceptance, faith, love, being in the flow of the universe. And so you're going to learn this one way or another. And they're going to get quite a dose of you as you go forward. So no time like the present to let them know what's going on. However, if their opinions are irrelevant, there's also no need to share anything that makes you uncomfortable. I think we need to have better boundary setting with people in general in our lives. And I think we give family, friends, lovers, and our children way too much territory into our worlds. So keep that boundary set if that's what you're comfortable doing. It's your development, not theirs. And if they're going to have bad attitudes, give them an opportunity maybe down the road to prove, that they're going to have a good, helpful attitude. Or you're going to find that you're going to start limiting how much time and attention and energy you give a lot of people in your life. I always say it's unfortunate, but it is a reality that when we embark on our spiritual journey, we find out who our true supporters are. So we'll see. We have another one from a Hunter Santiago. Hi, Ivy. I feel a change coming with my career. Do you have any insight? Well, I mean, I could tell you what I think you should be doing, maybe better than my insight into like all the changes that are possibly coming, because there's a lot happening there. So you have like 6 different shifts and potential outlets going on with your career. I don't know that they're all of great value. So I would say that if you should be focusing on one particular area, it's really honing in on how you can do what you feel passionate about. And for you, that feels like speaking, communicating, helping other people. I would say that it's almost a combination of like business smarts and your communication skills and the healing arts. So if you put your time and attention there, we're going to see not only some breakthroughs, but we're going to see an easier process in general. I always say that when you're living in alignment with your life contract, right, your life path, the universe is working with you. And so you feel that all the synchronicities are there. You feel that the hustling has sort of fallen to the wayside and you're in the flow. This is going to come through a series of 2 different opportunities that open up to you, but I also feel like you're going to be tested. So here's one of the things for you to remember. If you go and you start working with this energy and all of a sudden you feel like it's blocked, there are obstacles coming up, you're on shaky ground, it's not exactly what you expected, know that maybe you're getting tested. Every new level, there's a new devil. Check out the Fighting the Dark Part 1, Part 2 classes here on YouTube. Okay. It doesn't mean it's not for you. So stay the steady course and focus going forward. We have another one from a Selena. How has smoking weed been affecting me? Is it something I should stop? I think that when you reach the point where you're asking that, you already sort of have the answer. I've enjoyed plenty of weed back in my day. drank plenty. I did enough of a little bit of everything. But I would say this, I also reached a point where I knew I was done, and I stupidly didn't stop. So I think that one of the things to understand is that when you start questioning in the way that you are right now, that's usually the sign. That's usually all the instruction you're going to be given, right? Is that you are no longer feeling positive about the experience as a whole. You don't need a house to fall on you, and you don't need another million red flags, that it's pushing you off kilter, and that it is not helping you to stay in alignment with the universe and your highest vibration. That's all you need to know. Stop questioning it, make changes. And even if they're difficult to keep up with, I would say maintain it for a significant period of time, like 3 months or more, so that you can see if removing it from your life is having positive effects on your life. You can't just be like, I'm going to pass up that bowl, or I'm not going to hit that bong tonight. You need to, for a period of time, maybe pull away and see. And that's how you'll have your answer. Do I feel like it's negatively affecting you? Yeah, I do. And I would love to say, no, it's great, keep on. But I think you do need to change. Okay. All right, let's move on to from TikTok, Mrs. Brelsford. Will I change careers? I feel like this is falling into a bit of a free will zone for you, meaning it's up to you whether or not you choose to, because I don't see you getting fired, and I don't see the company falling apart or anything like that. So you could stay on and do what you're doing, or you could choose to make that change. I guess the bigger question here is, are there opportunities? Will there be doors opening for you so that you could make that change? And I feel like, yes, I actually feel like they're already open. So you have a couple different opportunities that are sort of sitting. Let's say you now have the key, and you could go and use that key on those locks to those new doors of opportunity. If you choose to, you could also just keep that key in your pocket and do absolutely nothing with it. So it's going to be up to you. If I were to put my opinion on this, and I were to listen to your spirit guides over here, your work and money guide in particular, and take a peek at your life contract and say, what should she be doing? Is a change necessary right now? 100% it is. Okay. You've been way too long, even 5 years past. It is time for movement. Absolutely. Go for it. Thank you so much for the donations, guys. I'm not catching everyone because I'm kind of looking over at a different part of my screen, but I do see them coming in. Thank you, Lola. Greatly appreciated. And then we have from Mala Sharma. Hi, Ivy. Hey, Mala. I rarely dream of my grandma, Pushpa, but I did last night. It looked like she had just passed away. That's all I remember. Okay, what does this mean? Does she have messages for me, or my mom, or my brother? Okay, so we're going with Grandma Pushpa. What is going on with her? Well, she has great energy. She definitely has a lot of opinions, and she has no trouble sharing those opinions. I think it would be nearly impossible to get her to back up on an idea that she has. If she knows she's right, her discernment is pretty on point, and she does not second guess herself. She said that her message to you, one of the areas that she's pushing you in right now, is when you deal with other people. Let's say you have a lover, okay? Let's say you have family members. Let's say you have friends or bosses. They try to push their agenda on you, telling you, suggesting, even subliminally, that you should be one way, or you should cater to them, or you should care what they think, or you should sort of build your life around their needs and their circumstances. Cut it. She says, cut it. Okay? Make yourself front and center. Do for you, and give yourself the time, the energy, the attention, and build for you, giving even your career and your long-term goals an independent mindset and a for you mentality. Everybody should be on the sidelines in your life, not dictating what you think, feel, how you're going to be spending your time and energy and lifestyle. Okay. She wishes she had done more of this. Even though she was very opinionated, she still kind of had that, bent. We have one here from Lola. Okay. Thanks for the donation. Hi, Ivy. Hi, Lola. A bird has been watching my window for a month now. Is it an ancestor? I do feel that it's sometimes an ancestor. I also feel like your guides are getting in on this. So I think the bigger message here is not exactly who it is. It's more like, what are they trying to say to you? And it's kind of going right over your head. All right. So whenever you start to notice patterns like that, it's like, forget who's even sending it. Okay. Because they as a collective don't have ego. They don't care about being recognized. It's not like it's this ancestor, not this ancestor. It's this guide, not this angel. They don't care about any of that. What they care about is you receiving the message, the guidance. And this is about springtime in your life. This is about you blooming into a brand new flower. This is about the dragonfly. If we look up dragonflies, well, don't Google it, because I don't know. It's probably going to have 5 different meanings. Okay, but the dragonfly symbology in my base is about huge prosperity, but not without the hard work first. So if we were saying that you're approaching a mark right now of the number 5, which is change in 3, 4, or more different areas of your life, and dragonfly payout, we're talking about you being able to receive blessings that you've already earned, karmic payout, karmic leveling up, levels up in a big way too. So where we're talking about your relationships being affected, as well as your resources being affected, as well as your residency being affected, right? Your career ultimately being affected. And this all comes from changes that you've been making in your mentality. So a lot of people like to change their circumstances, but they don't change the way they think. And so everything falls apart and they're like a hamster on a wheel and they can't figure out how to get out of that cycle. You have figured it out. You are changing the way you think. You've spent the last couple of years reforming your energy and choosing high over low, cutting people out and situations out that were draining you and being like, no, I need to hold myself accountable for that. I need to take responsibility for that. I can't be blaming everybody else. The circumstances outside my life. In that ownership has come this huge level up and this big karmic payout. And the birds are there to let you know that they're acknowledging it and getting you to focus on what's really going on. We could say bigger picture thinking. So start asking the bird when you see it, what is the specific message for me right now? A lot of it will be instructional. And congratulations, for sure. From TikTok at Latosha. I know I should be a healer, but I'm not sure what kind. Where do I start? Well, I do intuitive ability assessments. So that's up on the website, and that's for anybody. I'll send you a whole link telling you what you have going on. What I can probably get to here, though, in a minute is letting you know that one of the things you're overlooking is an ability to use your clairvoyance, or we would say your third eye, your higher mind, your psychic ability, to accurately predict things. Not only circumstances and timelines when these things may or may not happen, but also things like disease. So a lot of people say, well, I want to be a healer and I want to get into medical intuitive work. Well, that's great, but it's not that easy. You have to have a certain skill level in being able to, first of all, see inside the person's body, and then second, actually be, I don't like the word gifted, but able, okay, to channel the energy to heal those problems. So there's a lot going on there with that. And I feel like you have definitely that one element of psychic ability, we could say sight, to be able to use skills like remote viewing, where you can find objects from a distance. This would also be connected to things like paranormal work or missing persons, criminal investigations. This is where you look at, in this case, medical intuitive, somebody's body. You would do a body scan and you would be able to find disease, pain, whatever it is, right? Black masses that really need to be removed. And then the next step for you, I think, if you want to take this as far as doing actual hands-on healing work or even long distance work, I would recommend my Reiki class, because they train you in like psychic surgery as well as Reiki. So I think energy work in some form is going to be the next step for you. But ultimately, you've got to get and polish up on your detail because you seem to not be very patient working with your abilities, where you're like, oh, I think I got it, whatever. And it's like, there's more there. Okay. So a huge part of developing your intuition and your healing abilities is being patient. Yes, there is more there. There's another layer and another layer and another layer and more information. And you need to slow down and ask what that's all about and take the time to actually develop in one area instead of bouncing. Okay. Slow it down a bit. All right. We have another one coming in from a Jill Marie, my beautiful assistant teacher. How are you, Jill? Oh, this is our new Reiki teacher. Actually, Jill Marie right here. She's taken over the program for me in, I want to say August, maybe. You guys could check on the website. Very exciting. What timing? Hi, Ivy. My dog Ringo was diagnosed with either lymphoma or liver cancer. I opted not to do surgery, but just keep him as comfortable as I can. But now I'm second guessing myself. Is that the right action? I 100% feel it's the right action, and I'll tell you why. Because he's in a time period where this is in alignment with the contract that he signed on to. So when we talk about healing, Jill, as you know, okay, we talk about 3 different kinds of healing: spontaneous, miraculous, it's gone; gradual, or it's not going to happen. And when it's not going to happen, it's because it's blocked. Why is it blocked? Either the dog won't receive it, or it's contracted. Your dog is in a contracted situation where this is something that was meant to happen. He signed on to this before he came to Earth. And when you mess with something that's contracted, A, it's not going to be effective. It's just going to put him through a ton of torture. And B, something else similar to it is going to come right after it. And so it will be sort of a trigger effect of getting pelleted with other things that will cause health problems for him to ultimately help him to meet that goal that is within his life contract. It is his time, and that's where he and his higher mind wants to be. So we need to let him have as clear a path as possible. And right now that feels like it would be most peaceful to have it uninterrupted. So I think you did do the right thing. It's really hard to stay consistent with that. I know when it starts pulling at your heartstrings, but you're giving him what he wants. Okay. And he is happy. He's so sweet. Like, he's happy no matter what, he's just happy having you guys there. The more you could sit with him, lay with him, just love him, put your arm around him. I just feel like the simplicity of that, he's so happy with that. It's all he needs. He doesn't need some big surgery or intervention. Okay. I'm so sorry to hear that too. So Uma says, hello, Ivy. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. You too. I was hoping to get some insight into my nephew's health. AJ, is he going to be okay? All right. Well, when I go with AJ's energy, I really feel him getting in his own way a lot of the time. And what that can mean is that he is overthinking. He may be nervous or anxiety ridden over some of the things that are happening, and he may not do great taking instruction. So if we were to say these are the pathways to healing, and he were to say, well, I don't want to have anything to do with that, we could see some disruption here. I also think that some of the guidance that he's being given isn't the best I've ever seen. So I think that the better question to, whether or not he's going to be okay based on the medical help that's coming in, is will he sort of overcome these issues on his own, and will he find what the bigger lesson is here, the bigger picture to this entire experience? This is part of his life contract, so this isn't an accident. This isn't something that's not supposed to be there or can just be easily removed. This is a whole process for him. It's something he wanted to go through to grow and develop in this life. So that should bring you some peace of mind, knowing that everything is exactly as it should be right now. I think that he's going to be going through about 6 months of difficulty where he continues on this battle that I was talking about. And then I see him getting sick of it and wanting to sort of wipe it out of his way and take that wall down and be like, no, I'm sick of being in my own way. I'm sick of thinking this way or having these attitudes or feeling nervous about this. And I see him getting the upper hand and becoming a real power player in his life. And that will also dictate how his health goes in the future, in regard to even like, whether it be like parents or, the medical world, and him making decisions that are best for him. So yes, ultimately, will he be okay? I believe he will. I think he'll learn those lessons. And that's really what it's all about. From TikTok at Lady Danielle, will I ever move to England or Scotland? Ooh, take me with you, Scotland. Let me see what's going on with this. Well, you definitely have at least a trip coming up to England that seems to drag out for about 6 months. So I don't know how exactly you would be pulling that off without a relocation. But you may find that you are taking some, longer trips and figuring out what exactly you want. I'm hearing bells. There is some talk of London, and for sure, I could see this as an option in your future. Scotland, I think, is later. You may, and I see you with somebody else. So it's very possible that you have a love partner that you would be doing this with. Scotland is, if we were to say that your higher mind wants to take advantage of some of the fun and activity and the things that London can offer, and then it wants to settle down, right? And your soul kind of wants to have its roots in a true home, that may end up being Scotland after that. All right. So, yes, I think that you could. And I think that you likely will. Your free will ultimately dictates. You could not do any of this, but I think it's in alignment with where you should be. And some past life stuff as well. All right, we have another one from Brittany. I keep seeing 111. What does it mean? Well, it's a number of huge opportunity, but not without the hard work. So when people see 1111, they're like, make a wish. This is amazing. Everything's going to go in my direction. It's not that exactly. It's more like you have level up potential right now. There is prosperity or doors of opportunity available to you, but you are going to have to do the hard work to get it done. It is nose to the grind time when I see 111. It is time to really tune out the noise around you. Usually, new level, new devil. See my Fighting the Dark class part 1, part 2 here on YouTube in the playlist, okay, at Ask Ivy. When you start to level up or you have big opportunities like 111 energy or even 555 energy, you are looking at all kinds of blocks and obstacles and, annoying people who want to come in, negative lower energies that want to prevent you from getting that done. So you're not going to see it and start feeling these great possibilities without a bunch of turbulence coming in simultaneously. Your job is to tune that out, set proper boundaries, plow past it to be able to take advantage of those things. Good luck. That's exciting. We have another one here from TikTok at Genic. I've been having a lot of electrical issues at work. My computer never works or the phone malfunctions. What's going on? So I talk a ton about electric person syndrome. When you hit the 3rd and the 4th levels of empathic ability, you develop two things: telepathy and electric person syndrome. And one can certainly affect the other, especially in the work environment. So if you're working in a toxic environment, where maybe other people's negative thoughts are starting to affect yours because your telepathy is also being activated, or someone's vying for your job, or, you just don't like the energy of the atmosphere, you feel like you no longer belong there, it can start to upset you. And you don't even necessarily understand mentally and emotionally that it's upsetting you, but energetically, you certainly are having a reaction. And so anytime you're really upset or you're really excited, it's very much like the movie Carrie. Electric person syndrome starts to settle in. You're going to drain batteries, blow out light bulbs, mess up computer systems, and it's like nothing goes right. Now, if you step away, it may reset itself, but the minute you're back at it and you're again tapping into that negative energy or that excited energy, it's going to happen again. So you may want to take the empathic awareness class on the website, learn how to manage it. You've got to get the upper hand and the control on your empathic ability. What are we as empaths? What are we? Are we healers? Is it a big kumbaya? No, we're energy manipulators. It entirely depends on how you're using it. You could either wipe everything out or you could build everything up. It's up to you. Okay. So take the class and learn how to manage it. And also ask yourself, is this a great environment for me? And if it's not, I'm not saying you have to leave, but how can you modify that? Okay. Starting with that control that you're going to have after learning the tools. Okay. You hear my cat. At least they're not knocking over the cameras today. Come on, you can come up here. Okay, so we have another one from TikTok at SJB. Can you tell me what psychic ability I have? I feel like I have one. Well, there's only one psychic ability. It's not like it's a bunch of psychic ability it's called clairvoyance. So it's accurately predicting the past, the present, and the future without having any previous information about that person, that place, that situation. That's what it is. I think what you're asking is, in general, what abilities do you have going on? You do have level 3 empathic ability. You have some mediumistic ability that comes down through your bloodline. Okay, so that's automatically going to wake you up between 3 and 5:30 in the morning. You're going to have tinnitus and ear ringing, especially in the left side, pressure in your ears. You may be prone to things like depression. I can't prescribe or diagnose, anxiety attacks, ADHD-like symptoms. So this is all connected to mediumship. This goes way back for you. This goes into past lives. And again, this goes in your bloodline. Your psychic ability is, I would say it's above average, for sure. That tends to happen with mediumship. And I would say that, if you were to look at these 3 abilities and try to figure out what it is that you really want to spend time on, I would get the upper hand on your mediumship and polish it up, learn the language. Hope to see a psychic mediumship course, but you need to figure out the difference between spirits in the light and spirits in the dark, different spirits and how they communicate. You've got animals, you've got guides, you've got angels, you've got the deceased. Who are you talking to? What are they trying to say? That language breaks down, okay, into many, many smaller messaging systems. And I would say ultimately what you have going on in the future, and this is going to be increasing for about 8 months to a year and 2 to 4 months, is your empathic ability. Okay, so you are really going to be picking up a lot on other people's thoughts and emotions, and everybody will be coming to you and telling you their problems, like some random guy on the street, and that's definitely something you're going to want to get a handle on. Okay. All right, we have another one here from a Shauna Flint. Hi, Ivy. Hey, Shauna. I'm having a very hard time finding something to rent before court. I'm wondering if there is anything that would help me to locate a house or apartment to rent for myself. Thank you. Okay, well, I would have to know where you are. I would have to break down certain areas. I'm seeing a C name in like a town nearby, like a C or K sound in a town nearby to the left of where you are. So north, south, west, east. So what is that? The west? Oh, God. Don't take it from me literally, but like should be, okay, to the left of where you are. I also see some water and trees down that way. So if we were talking about a town where maybe there's not a lot going on, it almost makes me feel like a Cheektowaga kind of area. Anyways, if there's nature and the houses are a little bit more spread apart and there's water accessible somewhat nearby, I would keep moving in that area. I know in a lot of places we would think, well, then rent increases and house value increases. Not necessarily, not where you're looking. It doesn't. Okay. So I think what we're talking about is quite a lot of availability, even if it's not necessarily a place where you wanted to be. And then I'm feeling like if we look over east, okay, we're also talking in another section that would be more city-like. So let's say we're looking at a city like Buffalo, right? And you were to look at like west or like lower north, you could be finding some availability there. You just got to be quick on the draw because you're competing with a lot of people there. Even if it were like a duplex, like lower level, I see you coming into good parking. But again, it feels like you didn't want to look there. I think you're going to have to look outside of where you wanted to be. Yeah. Susanna Cruz, thank you so much for the donation. Anyone tuning in late, donations are greatly appreciated. Everybody, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Hit that join button on YouTube here at Ask Ivy if you want to become a member. So Susanna says, hi, Ivy. I've been trying to end my relationship with my boyfriend, Jose. He doesn't seem to take me seriously. Will this relationship ever officially end? Yes, when you take yourself seriously. He's irrelevant. He wants to come near you when you told him not to, you go no contact. He wants to come near you after that, you get a restraining order. You need to learn how to cut people off and force people to take you seriously. Nobody is ever going to respect your boundaries if you don't respect your own boundaries that you set for yourself, okay? All right, let's move on to another one from TikTok at April Lewis. Should I try out a new career? Well, April, when I'm looking at your life contract and what it is that you really came here to do, so your work and money guide is like just funny. They show you dipping candy apples and then like putting them on a tray and like and then being like, let's go to the circus, let's go to the carnival. Now, I'm not saying you have to quit your day job and become a carny, but I think it sounds fun. Actually, I'm going to quit my day job and become a carny and eat your candy apples. But I think that like there's a certain element of excitement and creativity and, you know, fun that needs to be put into your career. It's been dead. It's like dragging a dead horse, you know, along with you. And also your work and money guide says you've also been saying like, I could take this dead horse and I could turn it into, I don't know, horse jerky or some kind of meat or meal, or I could eat it later. Or I'm afraid to let it go. Let it go. Let it go. There will be more. There will be tastier things, you know, over here in the future. You really don't believe it because you don't have blind faith. And you have to remember that when you don't step out and take a chance in blind faith, you don't get the other pieces of the puzzle. The next step in the path is not lit up before you. It doesn't work that way. You don't get to have all your ducks in a row every single time in life. And this is one of those situations. You will be shown what the next move is and ultimately what it may look like after you step out. So yes, I do feel like it's time for a change in your career. And I think it wouldn't be the worst thing for you to get involved with something that's like way off base from what you would have normally done. Okay. Very interesting. All right, so we're going to move on to on TikTok at Bevy Baby Doll. Is my solar plexus chakra blocked? I think that a couple of your chakras are not necessarily blocked as much as they are like just not like your colors don't look very vibrant. I think there's some workaholism going on here. I see a lot of that sickly yellow color. And I think that you overthink things. There's a simplicity to energy. And that is this. When you honor it, it honors you. Okay. Think of it like dating. If someone makes you feel bad, or they make you second guess yourself, or they make you second guess the nature of the bond with them, kick them to the curb, then your energy flows. You attract somebody better, cuter, hotter, higher. And you need to treat the energy in your body very much like a sort of cutthroat decision, you know, making process where if something doesn't feel right, you cleanse it out, you stop it, you prevent it from coming in, you don't entertain it anymore. You don't want to feed what isn't working. Okay. You want to make room for better, higher. And the more you entertain that, the more of that you will get. I don't think it's just that chakra, but I do think that that's where we would almost say your root issue, right? No pun intended, is coming from, because you second guess yourself. You deny yourself, you deny self-love and self-care, and you tend to be double-minded. So you need to cut it right there. And I think the rest will just flow naturally. This is a lot easier than what you think. Okay. Don't overthink it. Just go with the flow of positive energy. It'll do the rest for you. Tiffany E, $5 donation. Thank you so much, Tiffany. Hi, Ivy. What is coming in for my love life? I see somebody trying to get in and can't. So I'm going to say this. Sometimes we have really a great opportunity with somebody, and when they try to come in, they kind of can't get at you. And that can be because you're holding on to something from the past. Check out my class called Relationships, Boundaries, and Cord Cutting up on the ivyleaguepsychicacademy.com. Okay, site. This class is going to teach you to clear out your energy field so that you're not energetically interacting with somebody from your past. It's making you read as unavailable. When your energy says, I'm unavailable, people who want to approach you, they don't necessarily know why you're unavailable. They may think you're lying and that you got somebody behind the scenes, right? They may think that you're just not ready. They, you know, may feel as though it is a potential rejection that's going to come from you. And that can scare a lot of people off, especially if they're a little bit fragile in that area. Not that this person is, but it's something to be mindful of. It's almost like an immediate rejection. Well, who wants to deal with that? Sociopaths do. Narcissists do. So if you found that you're attracting low-level people to you, it's because of that energy block. Okay, you're attracting people who say, I want to take advantage of that. There's something off about that energy. Maybe she's working through some stuff. I think, though, that if we can clear this out, this person coming in is really kind of extroverted in a lot of ways, but also a deep thinker. There's some healthy level of spiritual development there. And this person is very good at knowing their own energy. So when something is a no, they're like very quick at that discernment and that judgment and boundary setting. I like that a lot. No one can come in and protect you in a relationship unless they know how to protect themselves. We got a bunch of people out there who don't even know how to take care of themselves. They don't have anything to offer you. Okay, this person does. And so it's exciting in that way. This person also seems to be looking at like travel opportunities to build. There's a business element here. So you may be able to kind of come together as a team and even like invest in things like, I don't know, real estate or, smaller side hustles and stuff like that. It looks good. I would start doing this. And I want to say within 7 to 8 months, we're going to see some progress. All right, let's move on to another one. Brianna K, how do you sense energy and spirits? Well, I have a 6-month training course and how to, the psychic mediumship course is a 2-semester long course that trains you in psychic ability, empathic ability, mediumistic ability. And then we break down mediumistic ability by all your clairs. And then we break it down by the different groups of spirits. And then we break it down by their individual language. So there's a whole lot to this. And a lot of this has to do with what you naturally receive and how you naturally interact with intuition and spirits in the universe. And the rest of it is areas that are blocked for you, whether like school, your educators, the medical field, church, right? Religion, your parents, whoever taught you to block. Now we need to take all those blocks and remove them. So it's really hard to explain right now what exactly that feels like, because it's going to be adjusted to you as an individual. And then it's also going to be adjusted to the blocks that you have, and then, all these other things. So how do you sense energy? Or I don't know if you're just asking me, how do I sense energy? Maybe, how do I sense energy? I never tune out. And I don't think that was a choice that I made. I think because I'm a born intuitive, I never trained in any of this. I just knew. And so when my family would acknowledge that I was psychic or I was a medium, I learned to pay more attention to it and honor it. And then when I went off to like Catholic school and I was told, hide what you are, deny it, negate it. I made choices because of that confidence level I already had, because my family is Native and we're Puerto Rican and we're French. And so it was embraced in my family. So when I got out into public and they tried to eat me up alive and tell me to deny it, I chose not to. I chose to reject those systems and to continuously feed it. And so I think it's an example, again, of what you feed, you get more of. And, what you deny and negate will sort of fall to the wayside. And I've never tuned out. I just pay attention to energy 24/7. And I live more in the right side of my brain ever than the left side of my brain. Let's move on. Or are we at 16? We are at time. All right, you guys. So now I will see you back here again in 2 weeks. So it's bi-weekly. Ask Ivy on Wednesdays, but the next free mini class is Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern on TikTok and YouTube. And this week's upcoming free mini class is drinking, drug use, and spirituality. Last week was parenting and spirituality. If you want to check that out. And this is the 3rd class in the series that you guys voted on. These are the highest ranking classes that you wanted to see in the new series. So check it out. Hope to see you there. If you need to book a reading, a party, an event with me, or even a full psychic fair, you can go ahead and do that at ivyriverapsychicmedium.com. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, everybody. Again, appreciation for the donations and thumbs up. And thank you to Mairead, my beautiful producer. Have a good night, everybody.